That is so fetch.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, my name is Kaiya, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Cavalera Exhumed show that I recently went to about a week ago. This was at the Diamond Ballroom in OKC, and that was the first night of the Cavalera Exhumed tour. I'm really excited to share this review with you. I'm also rocking some of the merch, well, just one of the pieces of merch. There's a design on this sleeve. Rocking one of the t-shirts I got. Yeah, I'm really excited to get into this. I do want to say a quick disclaimer. I'm late to posting this review, to filming it, because my dog passed away. Spooner, some of you know. I'm not going to be mentioning it more than just in this video. That is the reason why I was late. So it was hard. I'm still getting back to normal, but yeah, I just wanted to say that that's the reason why I was late. Exhumed, Cavalera, Diamond Ballroom, OKC. This was a show that I think was on Thursday, August 31st. That's right. Diamond Ballroom we had already been at. This is where we saw Cannibal Corpse last November. Super stoked to go to this show. I'm rocking one of the t-shirts I bought. Diamond Ballroom's got great sound, great venue. If you're ever in OKC, definitely go and check out Diamond Ballroom. Cattle Decapitation will be doing a show there in November, and you know your girl's going to that. Cavalera, if you're not familiar, features the two brothers, Igor and Max from Sepultura. This is their little family band that they've got now. And the whole point of this Cavalera tour, Morbid Devastation tour, is for them to basically play all of their older Sepultura stuff. They've got a couple new records of like remastered older stuff that they're doing, so it's kind of like a tribute to their Sepultura sound, and of course, you know, they're older now, so a lot of people were wanting to go to the show just to experience the Cavalera brothers in case they retire at some point. That's the one of the big reasons why I picked this show to go to, but also because I really wanted to see Exhumed. Yeah. First, they had a band that I don't really remember their name. Insight. There we go. Insight was okay. Insight, as far as I know, is one of the bands, the son for, I think, Max or Igor is in Insight, and they were the like main opener with them. Insight was okay. I liked their sound. I thought the lead singer had great stage presence. He was moving around, he was headbanging, nice long hair, just kind of doing his thing. I got kind of this like hip-hop vibe with their set. It was kind of like a mix of like Rage Against the Machine with Pantera in a way. Magpie said he didn't really like it. I thought it was a decent opener, but I wasn't there for Insight. Okay, we raided the merch table for most of their set list, and we scored on some really good stuff, which if you want to see exactly what we got, it's in my last Metal Monday stream as of this date. I don't know, you'll just there, it's in the title, girl. Anyway, Exhumed. I know y'all want to hear about Exhumed. Go see Exhumed. Video done. This was the opening night of their tour, so there were, you know, tours are funny. The first night, the first few shows of a tour, that's where you're really like figuring out the kinks and everything, and it's not really until the end of the tour, mid to the end of the tour, that you know, the shows and everything are a little bit better, more rehearsed, everybody's warmed up, and they know what they're doing, right? So this was the first show, and Exhumed did have some technical difficulties at the beginning of their set, I guess you could say. This was before they even started playing. I'm not exactly sure. I know what was wrong, but I'm not exactly sure technicality-wise what was wrong, because I'm used to miking drums and having the sound of the drums go from the mic into the soundboard. Does that make sense? Because most drum kits that I'm used to have the hole in the bass drum and everything, so you can get that sound. The Exhumed drummer did not have the holes in his bass drum, so there was something, we were front row. We were front row for Exhumed, so we got to hear some of the conversation between like the stagehands and the Exhumed players, and there was something about his drum mics inside the kit, as far as I understand, that were not working in order for his kit to be mic'd in the sound system for obviously the crowd to hear. So that was a huge issue to have immediately before your set starts, but they got it figured out. They ended up just old school micing his drums, but instead of like on the outside of the drum kit, obviously because he didn't have the holes in the bass drum, they had to do it on the inside, which I was like, ooh, don't be dropping those with your double bass. Anyway, it was really cool. They had, the light up Exhumed logo, and little videos playing on the amps, just like Carcass did for their show in LA last year. And it was just a really, really fun show. It was just, they were the best of the night. Exhumed kept their set going really well. The guitarist, the guy in the blonde hair, really great stage presence, really great, just everything. I thoroughly enjoyed Exhumed, got to experience him, like I said, front row. So I really got to like just study and observe like what the bass player was doing, how the lead singer was interacting with the crowd, what he did. And it was overall just a really great set. They kept, like I said, the momentum going, and I was thoroughly pleased with their sound. They were really, 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 really solid. They did stuff from all different types of records, new and old discography. And they ended their set with a guy coming out, like you see in the video, with the chainsaw, and they had him like revving up the engine and beat with the music, and it was really, really stinking cool. And at the end of the set, the chainsaw guy came up and stood on the barrier where the crowd was, and had this like severed head and like sprayed blood all over the front row. Baby girl, let me tell you something. I'm glad I wasn't in the direct middle, because I was wearing my vintage Dying Fetus t-shirt, and I was not about to have fake blood all over that t-shirt. Note to self, don't ever wear vintage metal t-shirts, okay? I knew that was a rule. I knew that was a rule for me to follow, but for some reason I didn't do that. So I only got sprayed with like a couple drops of blood. Not that I'm not a fan of like getting messy, girl, but there was one dude who was literally covered in blood. Like, I'm talking about like arms full of it, all over his face and glasses, and it just looked like a blast. Like, if I was there to get messy, girl, I would have been in the middle. Either way, it was really cool to be front row to this. It was great to see the show and everything. Afterwards, we did go back and kind of raid more of the merch table. Magpie really wanted to get his Exhumed cassette signed by all of the members, and he ended up actually doing that. We got to meet and take photos with the guitarist, the guy in the blonde hair, and I got to take a photo with him, which was really cool, and meet him, and Magpie got to meet all of the members of Exhumed. I did get to talk to the lead singer a little bit. If you saw my concert vlog or some of my streams recently, you would know that Behemoth actually had a show in OKC the same night as this concert. Oh, I know. So it was really hard to choose, because it was Behemoth, I think it's Midnight, Twin Temple, and Imperial Triumphant playing. So total black metal show with like thrash metal, both the same night. So the reason why I mention it is because the lead singer was actually like saying like, thanks for coming to this, because I know Behemoth had their show. And I was like, yeah, we had friends that were gonna go to the Behemoth show, and we were like, no, we're gonna stay for the Exhumed one. And he was like, I like you made a good choice. So they were very aware of the split shows, I guess you could say. Anyway, Cavalera was next. And like I said, we didn't stay front row, really. I didn't care too much about Cavalera. I did want to see them, obviously, but I was there for Exhumed. Cavalera was... I'm going to be real with you, okay? I'm going to be real with you. They weren't very good. A lot of you agreed with me on that when I had my post showing the poster. A lot of you said Cavalera is kind of boring live. There were a lot of you though too that said they were really awesome live. So it's kind of a 50-50 split. Personally, for this show, and again, it's the opening night of the tour, so I guarantee you they'll be a lot more warmed up and more active later on in later shows. But the night of this tour, they were boring, honestly. There wasn't a lot of crowd interaction. This was a huge one. They were blowing through their set like they were listening to an album in their car. They were just like song after song after song after song, and not in a good way. There's a way that you can blow through your set and play a bunch of music, and have it be like a good tempo and still be an experience for the listener. And then there's playing all of your songs live with no crowd interaction to where it feels like you're blowing through the set, if that makes sense. And as an audience member, that's exactly how it felt. There was no crowd interaction. Max was not really saying anything, and I don't know what they're like in the concert vlog. You see them kind of figuring out, I guess, what set list they were doing, and I don't know, like I said, they were promoting some of these remastered albums that they were doing, so they did a lot of older songs of Sepultura's and just a ton of music. But like I said, no crowd interaction, and it was just like one song after another, after another, after another, and then they would say something, and they were like, thank you, Diamond Ballroom, and then another, and another, and another, and another, and it wasn't any different, if that makes sense. So it was like no interaction, so much music just back to back to back to back, that every single song just sounded the same, and it just muddled together until you really couldn't differentiate between what was being played. Now, there were, there's people that are hardcore Sepultura Cavalera fans that are going to completely disagree with me, and if you do, absolutely let me know down below, because that's totally fair, because I was seeing like true Sepultura Cavalera fans like jamming out, knowing all the words and everything. There was a little bit of a mosh pit going, but the overall vibe that at least I was seeing was people were enjoying it, but they were like not connecting with the band, if that makes sense. The band wasn't connecting with the crowd and vice versa. So and like I said, it's the first night of it was the first night of the tour. So these things kind of get figured out through more shows. Either way, it was a really, really good concert. It was Exhumed stole the show for me. I didn't stay for the two local openers. We got there afterwards. We got there like in sight set. And I was fine with that. I don't really care about the local openers. Sometimes I do, but they just didn't sound interesting, honestly. Exhumed absolutely 100% stole this show. 100%. If you have a chance to go and see this tour, go to it. Just for Exhumed, if anything, I would hope that the Cavalera brothers are a little more warmed up for your show experience, but Exhumed was a 10 out of 10 experience. Even if you're not a huge fan of Exhumed, if you've never seen Cavalera, go and see them. I went to this show because I knew that I wanted to see Sepultura live before they retire, and it's like a lot of these like old school death metal, thrash metal icons that we love and we listen to are not getting any younger, okay? They're not getting any younger, and And if, Ozzy Osbourne is anything for us to go off of, retirement is soon for a lot of these people. So get your chance to see these people. Get your chance to see Exhumed. Get your chance to see Cavalera, just so you can cross it off your bucket list, girl. Okay, that's my advice to you. Exhumed was totally worth it. If you're a fan of Cavalera, go to it. If you've never seen them live, Insight was, like I said, a good warm up. It was okay. The merch, I will say, is fire this year for their tour. Okay, not only does Exhumed have really awesome long sleeves, but they've also got hoodies and real zip ups. Okay, I'm talking about the merch for a minute. They got real zip ups with like the pockets. They actually have an off-white cream t-shirt, Exhumed does, with like red printing. It looks fire. So if you're looking for like a not black metal t-shirt, Exhumed should have some for your show, as long as they're not sold out. And then there was also a towel instead of flags. This year Cavalera did towels, so it's $25 at least at my show for the towel. I did show it on my stream last time, and it was just really cool. They had pins, CDs. There were some like drum heads that the Cavalera brothers had personally drawn on. There were some skateboards that were signed, posters that were signed, yada, yada, yada. It was really cool. The merch was fire. So yeah, that's going to be my review today. If you enjoyed, please let me know down below. Make sure you like this video, comment on this video, share this video. If you were at this show, let me know. If you went to one of these shows on this tour, also let me know. What did you think? Do you agree with me about Cavalera? Do you disagree? I would love to hear your opinion. And yeah, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. I post weekly videos every single day documenting my metal journey as a brand new metalhead. I also have a Discord at the Mosh Pit. There's an invite link in my description down below, as well as my PO box if you want to send something to be featured in one of my metal unboxing videos. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, you guys.